Okay, day 2. So we woke up at 7 because body clocks, and then went back to sleep until about 10. Now, I'm one of those people who, when they're sharing a room, hate being asleep when the other person's awake, or, you know, whatever. So I do this awkward thing where I'm like trying to not fall asleep all the way so that I can still be aware of if they wake up so I can be awake too. It's very frustrating because for 3 hours I was just sort of half asleep, tossing and turning, trying to make sure that I didn't fall all the way asleep, but I was still tired, and I didn't want to sort of disrupt my friend. It was fine. It was fine in the end, but I just felt... So then we went to the Slavery Museum, and when I say then, this was like 2 hours later because we took a long time to get up. But we went to the Slavery Museum, which was interesting, but it wasn't laid out very well in my opinion. It was very messy in terms of where you went, and as I've said in the past, I like things to be organized and ordered, and this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, not just like pick where you want to go, because that way I feel I'm missing things and I'm doing it in the wrong order and I get confused and I get sort of bored almost because I don't know where I'm going with it. And so that was a bit frustrating, and also it was very different. The first section was about sort of just the African culture, which of course is fascinating, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting to find out about slavery. And then only once you went to the further section, which was all the way at the back, it was just messy. It was a good concept and good stuff they had to present. I just wish they'd done it in a better way. And then we went down a floor to the Titanic exhibition museum thing, which was very good. That one was laid out well and it was fascinating, and some of the things you found out about were just so... I can't explain it. Like, if you go to Liverpool, that is probably the one museum I recommend so much because I just love... I mean, I'm not a huge boat fanatic or anything, but it was just really interesting and I recommend it. And as we were walking back, actually, we saw these, I assume, marine soldier type things standing on the boat and like doing the thing. I should not be speaking about this, I sound so ignorant, but that was cool. So then we went for the lunch at this place, which was really fantastic. We also had a hot chocolate there, which was really cool, and a dessert. But it was called Rough Handmade Boutique Bakery, if I'm right. And it was sort of along that same area, and it was so good and cheap and easy, and again, if you go to Liverpool, I do recommend that. Okay, now then this is the part I think I enjoyed most out of everything. We went to the Beatles Experience Museum, I don't know what it's called. To begin with, you walk in front of it and you have music, Beatles music playing as you're walking, and it's just really fun because who doesn't like the Beatles? And then you walk down the steps and you go in and you pay for it, and then you get an audio guide. I can speak English today. And everything was, again, first of all, laid out so well, and that just makes me really happy. Second of all, it was really big. Like, when I think about where the start was compared to where the end was, it was a lot of walking, not that I mind. And then the third and best part about it was they recreated everything. They recreated the bar where they first played at, they recreated the White Room where Imagine is, that video is filmed, and they recreated the bus and they recreated a plane, and it was just really, really well done. And we went in, I wish I could tell you what time, but I think maybe 3:30, and it closed at 6, and I could have spent more time there. We were there till the end and I definitely could have spent more time there. And I think one of the most impressive parts was at the end they let you go into that room where they've recreated to look like where Imagine's filmed, and they have Imagine playing. And it's just this surreal experience. Like, you can't explain it, and it's just... I don't even love the song that much, but just the whole experience also at the end of this, and you find out about their deaths, and they're like, oh, it's just so powerful and so good, and I so highly recommend it. That was by far the best part of Liverpool. So then again, as we were walking out, there was the most beautiful sunset. There's no other word for it. And we kept stopping to take photos. Luckily I wasn't the only one. My friend's father also really likes sunsets, and he was also taking about 10 million photos, so yay. And we went back to the flat. Again, her father fell asleep for an hour or so. We started watching Jack Whitehall, the one on Netflix, I don't know what it's called, not the one Travels with Father, but his actual live show, which was very funny. And then finally at about 9 o'clock we decided we had to eat supper. So we went to this place called Rudy's, which was a pizza place, which was very average. didn't have pineapples, which first of all, that's always soul crushing when I enter a pizza place and I'm like, pineapples. I don't even like pizza that much, but pineapples do make it quite a bit better in my opinion. And it was very thin dough, which they did say, sort of as you walked in, they said, we make thin dough, you are meant to eat it either with a fork or knife or fold it over or something. And it just made it really, I prefer thick dough. Again, that's me personally. If you like, a lot of people do like the thin dough, not for me, but it was okay. I mean, they didn't have any, I think, pasta or anything either. So it was really quite limited in that sense. So if you do go there, just be prepared for those things. And then at about midnight, my friend and I were like, well, we should finish watching Jack Whitehall. So we grabbed all the chocolates we bought the night before and started watching the end of it and eating, and both of us could not breathe from laughing at some points because he's just very funny. So I guess I'll put that in for a recommendation. Watch Jack Whitehall. That'll go on my favorites. So that was the end of day 2. I will see you guys whenever for day 3.